Hello, I'm Caroline from The Upcoming. Thank you so much for speaking to me today. And
thank you so much for having me.
congratulations on the film Scales. Could you tell us a little more about it?
For sure. Scales tell the story of a young girl named Hayat who lives in this isolated, barren, dead island. And this island lives on sacrificing young girls to weird sea creatures that live nearby. And the film starts when her father, Muthanna, refuses to sacrifice her. So he puts her in the water, but he picks her back up because he chooses his love for his daughter over the tradition of the village. So she grows up hated in the village, and her father and her mother become outcasts. And because she's touched by the water, she has this knowledge, and she has to find peace within herself, find the belonging that she has with the water, and bridge the gap between the water and the land, men and women, to say, you know.
The film is very much a mix of tradition and fantasy, isn't it? Why did you choose to tell the story that way?
I always believed that, because we don't, I grew up in Saudi, so we didn't really have cinemas or, mostly we watched Western film or television. So I felt that I wanted something to represent my identity. I wanted something to be very close to my culture, to the way I see the world. And I felt the best way to do it is to tell a story in a very visual way, to create a world where it will allow me to create more of a long poem rather than just a film. And setting the story in this world, setting the story in a world that is very magical, allowed me the visual opportunity to do that.
You both wrote and directed the film. How important do you think it is? You've got a very strong female lead. How important do you think that is to have representation in the industry for women?
It's very funny. Like a couple of days ago, I was speaking to a friend who's a filmmaker. She's also a woman from Saudi. And I was telling her, I'm writing this other story, but it's also a female lead. Do I want to do a female lead again? And then we both paused and we were like, yeah. She's like, yes. The reality is that we have we get bored of things, but we have no female. We don't have as much female lead as much as male lead. And one film or two films or three films are not going to cut it. And we need more female voices. And then we're like, maybe we make one and then apologize and do something else. No, if that's our story and the story that we're trying to tell is our experience of being female, our experience of how the world treated us because we're female, then this is the story that we need to tell. So I do feel it's very important. It's very important because when I was growing up, I felt that a lot of women on television, from any kind of, from the Western, the Eastern world, it did not, she's a woman, I don't know. That does not represent me, that does not represent what I think. Your interpretation of woman is very different than mine. And I want my interpretation of woman because I have the experience of being that creature, being in this body. So definitely very important.
How have you found presenting the film in London? Obviously, it's the Western world. Has there been a different reaction to the film?
We're screening, our first screening is today, so I haven't really got the feedback from London yet, but I'm hoping for the best. I mean, I studied film in London, so just to come back here with a feature and it's I'm so grateful for that moment to screen the film where I studied filmmaking. This is going to be such a fantastic experience.
And what are you hoping the audience will take away from the film?
I mean, what I intended to do is tell a story in a very visual way and try not to say too much and be very metaphorical in the way I'm telling my story. So it's more of an experience. So I do hope that they experience the story of Hayat, and I do hope they get to go on that journey with her. And Hayat in Arabic means life, so the film talks about the sanctity of life and how important it is, how much more important it is than tradition or culture, but we should put life above all.
Did you find any particular challenges in getting the film actually made?
Yeah, yes, for sure. Every time it used to get postponed, everything's like maybe they're cancelling funding, maybe it will happen. So the wait was the most frustrating part. Am I getting it done? Am I not? But it took us 6 years. So I've been in post for the past 2 years and a half, and we shot the film in like 2 summers or 3 summers ago, and it was such a long way to get to a product that is done and complete. So yeah, very thankful that we got to. I thought, like, I was like, everyone's telling me, but when the film finished, I was like, the film will never finish. it's never gonna end. But yeah, so I'm very glad that I'm here right now.
Very glad it did get made. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.